I was walking through Nairobi's bustling CBD the other day, and I got to talking with this amazing business owner. Her shop has been a fixture there for years. I mean, it's seen it all, weathered every kind of economic storm you can imagine. So I just had to ask her, what's the secret? How on earth have you not just survived but actually thrived for so long? Her answer? It was so fast and honestly, so bright.
Having strong structures in place and living with people well. That's it. It sounds so simple, right? But just think about that for a second. In those two simple phrases, she nailed the absolute heart of what makes a business last. It's not just about the numbers, it's about your foundation and it's about your relationships.
And here's the kicker. Believe it or not, what she was talking about, that practical, real-world wisdom, that is exactly what we're here to talk about today. It's the very core of a concept that sometimes sounds, a bit big and intimidating, ESG. So let's really break down this secret to business longevity. We're going to tackle two really big questions here. First, what exactly is this ESG thing? And more importantly, why should you, as a small or medium-sized business owner, actually care about it? Okay, so at its most basic level, ESG is just a way to measure how sustainable and solid a company really is. It all breaks down into three key pillars: environmental, social, and governance. Think of it as a framework that helps you see if a business is truly built to last. Now, this is a really important mindset shift. For the giant corporations, ESG can sometimes feel like just another boring report they have to file, a compliance box to tick. But for SMEs, for your business, it's something way more powerful. It's literally a survival toolkit. It's a practical guide to building a business that can weather any storm. All right, let's get practical and start building. We're going to focus on the G and the S, governance and social. Let's start with governance, the G. This is your internal blueprint. It's that strong structure the Nairobi business owner was talking about. It's what makes your business tough and resilient. So what does this blueprint actually look like? Well, here's your toolkit. First up, clarify ownership. This is huge, especially in family businesses. You got to separate the roles to avoid those messy power struggles. Second, get some advisory support. Even a small advisory board gives you massive credibility and makes investors take you seriously. Third, be a champion for transparency. Keeping accurate books isn't a chore, it's how you build trust. And finally, plan for the future. You need a succession plan so the business can live on. Okay, now for the second half of her amazing advice. Living with people well. This is the S in ESG, the social part. And please, don't think this is some soft, fluffy stuff. This is a core business strategy. It's all about building the relationships that will actually power your growth. So, what's in your social toolkit? Number one, engage with everyone involved in your business. That means building real trust with your employees, your customers, and your suppliers. Number two, define what you stand for. A clear code of ethics isn't just a poster on the wall, it should guide every single decision you make. And number three, show your impact. Don't be afraid to report on the positive effect your work has. Funders love to see that stuff. Okay, now let's talk about future-proofing your business. Because all this stuff, good governance, solid social practices, it's not just about building something great, it's also about protecting it from risk. And believe me, some of those risks come with a very, very high price tag. So let me just ask you a question. We all know how important data is these days. So, what do you think is the actual real-world cost if you get data protection wrong, right here, right now, in Kenya? 26,600,000 shillings. Wow. That is the amount in fines that Kenya's Data Protection Office handed out in 2024 alone. Now, for a growing business, a hit like that, it could be absolutely devastating. This just shows you the real financial teak behind these regulations. And that's really the whole point, isn't it? All this regulatory stuff, data, taxes, labor laws, it's not just some boring box you have to tick. It's a shield. It's that strong structure that protects your business from massive, potentially crippling financial damage. So let's just pull this all together. When you start to embrace these ESG principles, you're not just doing the right thing. No, you're actually building a powerful, sustainable advantage. You're giving yourself a new competitive edge in a world that's getting more complex by the day. Because just look at the flip side. The cost of ignoring this stuff is incredibly high. You're going to scare off investors who are looking closer and closer at these things. You're exposing your business to lawsuits and those massive fines we just talked about, and you're risking damage to your reputation, which, as we all know, can be almost impossible to fix.
So I want to leave you with this one last thought. ESG isn't a box you have to tick on some corporate checklist. It's a business you get to build, one that's resilient, that's trusted, and that's built to last. So the real question for you right now is this: what's the very first principle you're going to build on?